Welcome to Just Thinking. The town election is on May 21st, and to help you learn about the candidates, I will be interviewing each one that is running for a contested seat. I will ask the same questions of each candidate for an office so we can compare and draw our own conclusions from their responses. These interviews run about 20 minutes each and can be found on Holliston Cable Access Facebook page and at www.hcattv.org, so you can watch anywhere at any time. So my candidate tonight, right now, is JT Mann, and you are a candidate for moderator.
That's true.
Yeah, so welcome.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Thank you. So how long have you lived here?
Just under 5 years in town.
Really?
Yep. I grew up nearby in Framingham in Wayland High School. Moved a little bit around the country, a little bit around the world, and then moved back to the area and found Holliston. Roots go somewhat deep with a sister in town for 20 years and some other relatives for generations. But for me, just under 5 years.
Great. What's the farthest away you've been?
Lived in Seoul, South Korea.
Ah, yep. Okay. That should do it. Yeah. So tell us about yourself, including your professional background.
Sure. So I'm a business lawyer by training, and I think also by temperament. It really just fits me. And I've been lucky enough to, Seoul, when I lived in Seoul, Korea, that was to be a business lawyer, work for a major Korean law firm in Seoul. I do corporate and commercial deals. I help companies buy companies. I help companies do their contracts. I act as the intermediary to try to make it all come together. I really like my job now. I work for a major staffing and consulting company. I'm the senior lawyer there. I'm the general counsel. I've got a nice staff, and we've got offices around the country and now starting to expand overseas. Good professional job that I like. I act as the corporate secretary, taking the minutes and helping to organize that. I've done that for a few different major companies. Professionally, I feel really good about where I'm at, and like what I do, like the people and all the rest.
Good for you. Good for you. You have family here, you said.
I do. I do. I live just up the road from MacArthur Farm. Okay. I live with my sister and 2 nieces. Okay. My kids are big, and one's out of college, one's in the middle of college, and now, in effect, trying to find a good role and serve my town. Good
for you. All right. So why are you interested in this position in particular?
It's a service to town thing. I don't pretend that I'm the greatest thing in world history or anything like that, but I've been following town politics for years. I do town meeting by TV. That works for me, the easiest way. But have been watching it and kind of trying to chat with neighbors and friends about the important issues, and always helping people get registered to vote, things like that. For moderator, I was looking, again, as a way to serve the town, trying to find out the best role that would fit. This one seemed to fit kind of my professional background with corporate secretarial skills, some legal skills, some cooperative skills. I'm not partisan by nature. And so a nice middle-of-the-road thing that can kind of help people try to figure out how to work through town issues appealed to me, and wanted to throw my hat in the ring. Again, for me, it's all about service to town.
Great. Do you have any government experience, whether Holliston or anywhere else?
No, this would be first elected post. I've served on lots of board of directors, nonprofits, and others, but not in government. Okay.
And I was going to ask you if you're a regular attendee of town meeting, and the answer is yes, but not at town meeting.
That's true.
Okay, so you'll watch it. How familiar are you with the rules that operate town meeting?
Yeah, just getting up to speed over the last few months as the idea started to percolate in my head to what I wanted to try to propose to serve in the town. So started just in January and February, starting to familiarize myself. Very different than corporate bylaws that I've written and read for 2 decades now. But the idea of compliance, the idea of setting rules, the idea of having special things that people have to follow in order to control it is very similar to kind of corporate minutes and corporate meetings, especially contested meetings where those can get quite heated. for town meeting, I think it's important for someone to be familiar with them, and I'm working hard to get up to speed so I can really claim expertise. I can't claim expertise right at the moment, but as a good student and as someone dedicated to doing a good job, I'm working on it right now.
Okay. How do you think the town moderator might make town meeting more understandable for the attendees?
Sure. No, that's a good one. I think there's lots of possibilities. I think one is just better explanations of what's happening. And I don't know exactly what the town would allow, but the idea that we can explain what's happening in government is fundamental for me. I am kind of a man in the middle. Again, not hardcore Republican or Democrat, liberal or conservative. I believe in good government. I think that's the most important thing, is the good government. And I do think that for town meeting, that the idea that we could just explain it better. Like, what's happening? What are the issues? What's the 30-minute rule? How does that work so that people don't come, think that they have voted on something, leave quickly, and then get outvoted by people that kind of know the rules a little bit better? I think it should be shared so that people know what's happening better and better. How do we do that? I could imagine through cable TV as one possibility. I could imagine some articles in the local newspaper trying to explain stuff better. I think, geez, the social media outreach possibilities now are tremendous. Whether it's Facebook, Snapchat, LinkedIn, all the different possibilities, I think, are powerful avenues for us to try to explain it. And you know, I think let's get it to the modern age. Let's think about that in a positive way. That's not pro one side or pro the other. Yeah, really get it out there. I think there's lots of ways to do that.
All right. Got any ideas on how to increase attendance and convince people to not just sit at home?
That is a hard one. That is.
So what would it take for us to get you, besides getting you elected as a town moderator, what would it take to get you off the couch and down there?
Yeah, I think it's the idea of getting people to know that their vote really counts, and more. So for me, it was partly was family issues that kept me at home, but trying to get a babysitter and stuff to cover is one personal issue for me. But for others, I think it's that their vote counts, and that on certain issues, thousands of dollars, on other issues, millions of dollars are about to be spent over a certain number of years, whether it's for schools or otherwise. And your vote counts, so that to get people down, it is a hard one. There's lots of folks that are just apathetic, that don't really care about stuff. They just think it's going to be taken care of. And to Holliston's credit, it has been pretty well taken care of on all sorts of topics. But to get people out, I think it's more just outreach to say, this matters. Holliston matters. Come on down.
All right. Is there anything you would like to do to change how the town processes, the town meeting processes are sort of fixed?
They are.
But is there anything that you would want to change in those processes, either how we get to town meetings, so the budget process and that kind of thing, or at town meeting? No,
right at the moment, watching years of them, I don't have any glorious insights or dreams of fundamental changes, except to try to make sure that people know what's happening. So a little bit of advance notice. I think advertising is too strong a word, but to try to encourage people to understand what's happening. At town meeting, again, making it clear to the people what's happening and how their vote matters. I think with time, more ideas may come in order to try to tinker with something, but I don't think anything's broken. I don't think there's a terrible problem. Mm-hmm. My idea really was to just again, put my hat in the ring to offer up a chance to serve in a role to try to help the people prep for town meeting. At town meeting itself, that's, of course, the most famous part, but the prep before to really understand what's out there, to reach out to the people and understand, I think is a powerful thing. Okay. Do you think Holliston should move to a representative town meeting? Yeah, I don't see that myself right at the moment. I think this works well at some point, with the growth. At some point, perhaps that's needed or warranted. But I think we have a chance at our current size to still have direct democracy, but maybe with some better outreach so that we have more folks that really participate, more folks that really vote.
And I'm still struck by the fact that that to get you yourself engaged,
yep.
Okay, so what was it that was sort of just either inspired you, or that last town meeting that you just said, oh my gosh,
yeah.
What is it?
There was, I suppose, there was the idea that we can do great things in a couple different areas. One of them is with a town moderator that can really reach out and pull people in, could really be a great thing. And what I didn't want was just someone running unopposed. I'd love to be town moderator, that would be great, but one of the ideas was to at least have it so that someone wouldn't be opposed, whether it was the incumbent, or I understand that person hasn't decided to continue, is my best understanding, or if it's somebody else. And just so that there's a discussion, so that they get on TV like this, for example, you're interviewing folks that have contested races.
Right.
So instead of just an uncontested race, someone that's maybe been in town forever, someone that's had other roles, that's okay. That's super powerful, actually. There's the other fellow running is a terrific guy. No troubles there. Terrific experience, terrific person. I just didn't want someone to have an uncontested thing. Let's at least get people to talk about stuff.
Good. Do you think you'd run for something else if you didn't?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
Absolutely.
That's very.
Absolutely.
I love your enthusiasm.
Absolutely. No, I'm new here compared to lots of folks, right? A little bit under 5 years. Mm-hmm. I think the town is great. I think the town has all sorts of great stuff. Whether it's terrific housing, terrific schools, a terrific little downtown, and I think government has a real role in making all of those better. So how could I serve? Would it be moderator or select person or housing or something? Mm-hmm. I didn't know. When I looked around at the options of different things, moderator jumped out as one that would be a good possibility. At one level, that is certainly a high-profile one, and oh goodness, this is the first time ever. But I also looked at, selectmen this or housing that. I said, geez, I don't know, I didn't feel enough qualified as selectman. And then moderator just kind of cried out as an interesting possibility. I think after this, whether it's an elected position or even just volunteering for...
there are at least 70 different committees.
Right. Yeah, there's lots of other possibilities.
And, like right now, we are looking, to use the magic word, housing. I mean, we are looking to build up a housing committee that's going to be looking at market affordable housing for seniors or for young people who have no place to live because it's expensive to move in here.
Housing is crazy.
It is huge.
And again, I don't have any great ideas on housing, but I do think government has a role in order to try to figure out how to make that work. So part of that is pricing, part of that is financing, all sorts of different pieces. I have studied and seen kind of controlled market stuff in New York City and elsewhere. And man, that distorts the market in some ways with these sublets on sublets that really well-to-do people are now in subsidizing. Right. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah, right. Ooh, but we don't have too much of that here.
No, we're tiny compared to anything like that. Yeah. But how do you do housing right? That's an important one that I hope that thoughtful people are thinking about it. People that are neutral, right? Yeah. Not builders, and sometimes they have the best expertise, the contractors and the builders. So, geez, they're the best. But how about just some good brain power to say, how do we make this work? That's a problem for Holliston, but for pretty much every town in Massachusetts. Yeah.
Well, if you go to the town clerk's website, there's a list of all of the positions. So believe me, should you not be elected as moderator, you're going to have there are ample opportunities to volunteer.
I'm looking forward to it.
I started on the zoning bylaw study committee. I mean, talk about an innocuous little committee, long time ago. But you now have some time that you can look at the camera and just do a final pitch for yourself. Why should I vote for you?
Terrific.
As moderator?
Sure, you can vote for me. As someone who cares about the town, someone with good professional training as a lawyer that really wants to be neutral and help the town be better. It really is as simple as that. It's to offer up a fresh voice, some fresh insights for the town in order to help the town be as good as possible through town meeting.
All right. All right, JT Mann, thank you very much for joining me.
Thank you very much.
Alrighty. So I've got just a couple comments. Now that the candidates have shared their views, please be sure to do your part and vote on May 21st at the high school field house between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. Turnout for town election in 2017 was just 11%, just 1,100 voters. In 2018, 16% turned out. We'd like to beat that this year and hit 20% or more. Come on. There are also 2 questions on the ballot about retail marijuana to bring town bylaws into line with the latest state regulations. Local government hits you at home and is where you have the biggest influence. And Holliston is the living model of true democracy. So please participate. Thank you.